Good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World. Media landscape in the US is going through even more uncertainties during President Trump administration. President Trump has appointed new CEO for US Agency for Global Media, which run Voice of America and Radio Free Asia. Michael Pack, the new CEO, decided not to renew visa for international journalists. A photojournalist who worked for VOA Thai is among one who is affected. คุณนัทบุญนาค and me talked to คุณวรังชนา ชมชื่น international broadcaster from VOA Thai, how she is being affected and how she is going to handle the situation. Can you tell us what's the latest situation with you concerning visa to work in the US?
Right. So right now, I'm still unable to work at Voice of America since my visa expired on July 1st. And, I've been waiting for about over 10 days now. And the latest I got from the management is that USAGM, which oversees Voice of America and 4 other news networks, are looking into each case of a J1 visa holders, which are granted to foreign journalists, and they're going to review it on a case-by-case basis. But I have no answer or no information when that process is going to be done. And so right now, I'm still waiting to hear from them.
So what are you going to do right now?
Right now, I'm packing some of the stuff in my apartment as a preparation to leave the country, just in case the visa didn't come through. I mean, since my visa expired, I basically have 30 days left to remain legally in the US. But the situation is more complex and more complicated because of the COVID-19 situation, and Thailand still bans international commercial flights into the country. So in order to fly from the US to Thailand, like any Thai nationals in the US, we have to register and ask for permission from the Thai embassy.
As for the process you've been going through, how hard has it been for you?
I have to live with the uncertainty and the lack of answer, the lack of knowledge. Just like living with not knowing what's going to happen to you, whether you're going to stay, whether you're going to go. I think that is a difficult aspect.
How many staff at VOA Thai or VOA in general are under the same boat with the same situation like you?
From what VOA reported, right now there's about 70 people who have J1 visas, which is the same visa that I have. And I believe that a few of them like me, have their visa already expired and are now in the grace periods. But the majority of them will have their visa expired in the coming weeks.
So can you explain a bit further, what is the J1 visa and how is it different from having a green card for those who might not be aware of the differences?
Sure, yeah. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a background. VOA has been hiring journalists from foreign countries to work in their foreign language services, which there are more than 40 languages, to broadcast news about the U.S. policy and things that are happening in the U.S. Around the world into, I think, some 80 countries in more than 45 languages. So in order to do that, they need someone who has specific skills and who are native to their own language to come work at VOA. And in order to do that, they sponsor J1 visa, which is a non-immigrant visa that would allow people to come to the US on a work or study basis as like an exchange visitor. And this J visa, covers a few years, but like in my case, it has to be renewed every year in order to make it valid for the coming years. And so from what I understand, there are some people at VOA who came on to J1 visa and get their visa renewed every year, which enabled them to work without any interruption.
คุณวรังคณา you said there are about 70 staff at VOA Thai, VOA in general, are under the
Yeah.
same situation. Can you group up as the big group and contact lawyer in the US to try to help you? Is that probable?
Yeah, I mean, right now there have been, people have reached out to us, and some of them are lawyers or people who are working for the interests of journalists and reporters in the US. So we have been contacted by, people who want to help, and including offer some legal assistance. So I think we're in the process of that. I don't know how much yet, like how that's going to pan out, but definitely, we have been contacted and offered legal assistance, but we're just in the beginning or in the early phase of that.
So far, how many years have you worked with VOA Thai?
I've been with VOA Thai for just a little over a year. I was hired about in the spring last year in 2019.
And how the media landscape changed over the past 1 year that you joined VOA Thai?
I think at VOA Thai or at VOA, whatever was happening in the US, it didn't affect, how we work or how we run our operations. We still had, the same kind of independence we have to select news, to report on US news, US policy, and what's happening in the US, including issues that affect Thai diasporas in the US. So because VOA has this firewall, the mechanism that is in place to protect and to prevent VOA from being interfered by, political entities or politicians. So I would say, the media landscape here is changing just like in any country. And, of course, there's always accusation or criticism that maybe the media has been divisive or things like that. But I would say that it doesn't affect how we work at Voice of America.
But so suddenly the policy has changed after President Trump has appointed new CEO for USAGM, and that brought so much changes abruptly. What about staff who still remained at VOA? In general, are they concerned with probably unpredictable change in the future?
Yes, I think everyone or many people are worried about, what kind of changes he will bring. And so far, we know what he did. Like, he wanted to have a new set of executives running VOA and 4 other news networks under USAGM. But in terms of editorial, and we haven't seen any big changes yet. I understand that he might be reviewing how VOA and how other news networks are working right now. But I think what affects us the most is more like, the uncertainty that whether he's gonna change any practice about visa renewals for foreign journalists here or not.
That's the voice of คุณวรังคณา ชมชื่น photojournalist from VOA Thai who are still waiting for clear confirmation in renewal of J1 visa with her hope to try to stay on in the US. And that's all from Thai PBS World tonight. Thank you very much for watching.